Make this video to help you to understand a few things that over the years I have found have been, I don't know, just kind of a misunderstanding or just not a full understanding of what I'm looking for when you are looking for pieces of music to post on your discussion boards. Um, so some of these are problems that I've kind of seen off and on throughout the years I've done this, and some of these are kind of new things that have popped up that I thought I would address. So I'm going to post this video, which obviously you're watching it, but I'm also going to post this PowerPoint that has some additional explanations with some videos that you can kind of get a better idea of what I mean by some of these pieces. So the first thing I wanted to mention is that we have pieces of music that are large pieces of music that are made up of smaller parts. And one of the first type of pieces that you might encounter is the Mass. And so the Mass is basically the liturgical music for the Catholic Church. And so much of our music, especially in the Middle Ages, was based on the Mass. But I mean, we see that all the way through classical Romantic period as well. But so the Mass is made up of five musical parts. And so they are the Kyrie, the Gloria, Credo, Sanctus, and Agnus Dei. So each one of these parts has a separate piece of music. So if you find something that says Mass, make sure it's just one of these parts. Because if you have the whole Mass, it's going to be like about a 45-minute video. So remember, my purpose with the discussion boards is that you will find a piece of music that you will listen to, and you'll answer some of the questions about it. And then you also find something else that somebody else posted and listen to it and react to it as well. I don't think anybody wants to listen to 45-minute videos, so make sure you're just posting one piece of it. So it'd be like, as opposed to 45 minutes, it's probably like a 4-minute video. So I'm not expecting you to listen to whole operas or whole symphonies and so on. So this next slide, this is just a video that kind of is a better explanation, because what I gave you just was the quick condensed version. This is a better explanation of what a Mass is. And so if you're kind of like, okay, I don't understand what that means, watch this video and it should help you to understand. Okay, the next type of piece that is larger, made up of smaller parts, is the concerto. This is usually, probably always, 3 movements. So it's a larger piece that has 3 different, in a sense, 3 different pieces make up the larger piece. And this is, you have either a solo instrument or a small ensemble that plays with an orchestra. So this usually showcases the virtuosity of the musicians and what the instrument is capable of doing. And so it's kind of like a back and forth with the orchestra. This will be in 3 movements. Don't post the whole concerto. If you find a concerto, just post one piece from the concerto. And then again, here is a video explaining the concerto very simply. All right, another form of music that is a very large piece is the opera. Now, these operas could be 2.5 to 3 hours long. I know nobody's listening to an entire opera. I don't expect you to listen to an entire opera unless you just want to. So when you are looking for, if you're, like this is usually instrumental, or I'm sorry, vocal piece, probably from the Baroque and the classical periods, could even be from the Romantic period as well. You're going to look for something that is just one part of it. And so within an opera, we have arias and recitative. You also have the overture. Like if you are looking for an instrumental piece and you choose an opera and you just post the overture, that would actually be okay, because the overture is only instrumental. Usually, I can't think of an example when there's some vocals in an overture. But for the most part, you're looking for the arias. And the arias are going to be, maybe 4 to 6 minutes long. So you find something from an opera, only post the aria, not the whole opera. And then again, another explanation for opera in case you're not really sure what it is. Okay, oratorio and cantata. So these are vocal pieces that's usually with a full choir, and there's also soloists and an orchestra. And these are performed without any kind of costume or scenery. Cantata is a little shorter. again, this is going to be made up of several different arias, and there's sometimes recitative in there as well. Just find one aria from an oratorio. That's all I want, not the whole oratorio, because that's going to be, like I said, much shorter. And so this is just a little information about the oratorio and cantata. And then the last one that I see that people do a lot is post an entire symphony. Now, a symphony is going to be made up of 4 movements, and it's usually labeled by its tempo marking, like allegro, vivace, adagio, and so on. So if you find a symphony, make sure it's just one part of the symphony, because a whole symphony, could be 45 minutes to an hour long. One part of it is much shorter. Because again, I don't expect you to listen to a whole symphony unless you just want to. And I don't expect anybody that's, responding to a video to watch the whole thing. I just want you to listen to one section of it. So that will actually make everything a lot shorter for everybody. And I'm just going to tell you guys, if you're posting a whole symphony or a whole opera or a whole oratorio, chances are you probably didn't listen to it. So just do the one part of it. And again, a video that explains symphony pretty well. All right. The next thing I wanted to address are the musical time periods. Now, sometimes this is an issue where someone posts something, like we're looking for a Renaissance piece, and then someone finds a piece that was written not within this time period, a little bit later or earlier or whatever. Make sure that whatever I'm asking for in the discussion questions is actually written in that time period. And one thing that kind of happened really for the first time this past semester, and so I wanted to address this, was when you're looking for things like historical events or works of art and literature, architecture for your final project, I think what some people are doing is they're just Googling classical architecture or classical literature or whatever. And sometimes it'll come up like classical Greek, which is much, much earlier. It's not within this time period. So make sure that when you're Googling anything classical, it's actually within this time period right here. Okay, and then the next thing I wanted to address, this right here is just a little bit more information of characteristics of each musical time period. Okay, now, all right, so the other thing is, again, when I'm asking you to post something, I just want you to post one piece from that time period. What I've had over the years, every so often, is someone will find of a video like this, and what it is. Of course, it's not. Oh, there we go. This is a compilation of many works from the Renaissance. Now, all of the composers for all the different pieces that are in this video are actually from the Renaissance time period. However, again, I only want one piece. This is 45 minutes long. Nobody's going to listen to that. So please make sure that when you're looking for something, it is not a compilation. So like this would not be an acceptable video to post. It needs to just be one piece. You might look in the description, because usually pretty much almost everything you need to know for a video that you're posting, if you're finding it on YouTube and you look in the description underneath the video, it'll usually give you all the information you need. Or it will at least give you the composer, so you can double check, is that composer actually living in that time period? So this is an example of a compilation. And then the last thing I wanted to address is in the style of. Okay, so in this case, this is a kind of like a medieval style piece that's written, or medieval kind of Renaissance, that's written in the style of that time period, but not written by a composer from that time period. So you want to make sure that this is a modern composer. So make sure whoever your composer is actually lived in that time period. So I'm going to post this PowerPoint. You can kind of look through it again. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Hopefully that clears things up before they needed to be cleared up, and hope you enjoy the course.